familiar to you. It's really not that crazy. It's a nice little chapter, I think. And not like circulatory, not like neoplasms, not like pregnancy. In ICD 10, it's chapter 14, diseases of the genitourinary system, with the same usual exceptions, right? If it's due to a highly transmissible infection, then it's probably going to code out in chapter 1, infectious diseases. If it's due to a neoplasm, it's probably going to code out to chapter 2, the neoplasm chapter. And as we all know, if she's pregnant, chapter 15 with additional codes as needed from chapter 14. Now, I know you probably heard this in terminology, but it's just a reminder, and I think it's important because you can get really lost in ureter and urethra. You know, because they'll have that ureter, oh urethra, oh whatever. So just be careful, make sure you're resecting or moving the right part to the right part. Okay, then it goes into urinary tract infections. If you think about it, your urinary tract goes, you know, like from the kidneys all the way down to the urethra. And so when you just say urinary tract infection, it's more of a general code. And so if that's all you know, then that's going to code out to N39.0 for just a UTI. Okay. But what they would like is, if you can find more specificity, to actually code it to the site in the urinary tract. So is it bladder infection? Is it cystitis? Is it urethritis? You know, if you can be more specific, then that's what they would like to see. So urethritis and cystitis are going to be lower urinary tract infections. The kidney pelvis, pyelonephritis, is going to be upper. And they're just telling you that if you know that site, then you should go look it up under that condition instead of looking up infection urinary. Go to cystitis or go to urethritis. Doesn't mean you'll always have that. You may just have urinary tract infection. With all of those, you're going to want to look for subterms that identify the organism that caused it, just like we always have. If you can't find that organism as a subterm, then remember you're going to have to use an additional code. And those are going to be those codes that come out of the B95 through B97 range. The ones that when you look up the infection, it says in diseases classified elsewhere, remember? So look for the B codes, not the A codes. And then at the top of page 261, it's talking about UTIs following surgery, and it's telling you that those are rarely true post-op complications. Okay. So as with any complication post-op, you have to have that documentation from the physician that tells you it is truly a complication and that it is due to that procedure. You have to have that causal relationship. So if you don't, it's just going to code out as a regular UTI, that N39.0. The one time you may want to watch or dig a little more or query the physician is if the surgery actually involves the urinary tract. Then it's more likely that it could be due to the procedure. Like they put some dirty tubes up in you or something. Ew. You know, you always want to be sure they wash those leaves. Y'all are going to go in and say, did you sterilize your tubes? Okay. So if there's some question and you think it might be, then again you of course would have to query the physician. If the UTI is associated with an implant, graft, or device, what do we know about that? Remember, under complications, you've got mechanical, you've got infection, you've got other. So if it's an infection due to a device, you're going to be in categories T83.5 through T83.6. And we also know with that code just shows infection due to a device. So you're going to need another code to show the infection. Is it cystitis, urethritis, UTI? What is it? and then you'll need that third code to show the organism. So you could possibly have 3 codes there. And then it also mentions that if you have an indwelling urinary catheter and you get an infection due to that, that codes out to that T83.51, so that's a device. And that's you're gonna also use the UTI code, the N39.0. So let's try coding the odd ones.